I'm very familiar and very much a veteran on the experiences where when you get a health crash symptom, let's say a vision symptom or like the trembling or I don't know, like panic attacks, and then you have health anxiety on top of that where you're freaking out and wondering what the fuck is wrong with me now. Hi everyone, it's Jaden. Welcome back to my channel where I talk and share information on health, fitness, and just overall self-improvement and optimization. On today's video, I wanted to go over health anxiety, and more specifically, health anxiety that gets triggered when you're experiencing symptoms from your health recovery. As I've mentioned in a previous video, some of you might know this, that I have struggled with OCD and anxiety and health anxiety since I was a child, way before I had my health crash. It seemed to be like a theme of my life challenges is to deal with anxiety and stress management. And I've totally come to terms with it. I'm totally okay with it, and I'm highly functional with it. I was very blessed to be able to had the experience I had and come to certain realizations on accepting it at a very early time. Like, I've struggled with it since 12. I had signs of it earlier with OCD and anxiety, but yeah, I remember being 12, I had like a major realization that, I'm doing certain rituals. Rituals, I don't mean like candles. I mean like counting in my head and things like that. Those of you who have OCD knows what I'm talking about. Just certain ways you have to do things. So I realized that when I was young, and it is stressful. It is caused by anxiety and also can cause a lot of anxiety and stress because you're just kind of in hyper mode mentally. Around 22 or 23, I had dealt with it for like 10 years, and I just, come to terms with it, accepted it. I was really resistant of it and just like wishing why I'm dealing with this. And same thing with the health anxiety. It started the same time around 12 with the OCD, where I would get really obsessed with, is this, wrong with me? Is this some deadly disease and this and that? And so of course later in my life, even though having dealt with that, I had other forms of stress and just life challenges in general, and the career and all that. And that's when I had the health crash of like actual like hormonal imbalance later in my life with most of what my channel is about so far is the health crash I had 2 years ago. I'm very familiar and very much a veteran on the experiences where when you get a health crash symptom, let's say a vision symptom or like the trembling or I don't know, like panic attacks, and then you have health anxiety on top of that where you're freaking out and wondering what the fuck is wrong with me now. Am I gonna die? Usually that's like, all stems to that. Am I going to have like a very scary, freaky illness? Am I going to lose my mind? All kinds of irrational thoughts. Let me share my insights on this. Again, I am not a doctor or a therapist. I'm not here to diagnose or treat you of any disease. I'm just sharing my information for educational purposes and for your own research. And I totally encourage you to consult doctors, therapists of who you work with, and before taking on any type of health or mental health advice. Let me just give you a scenario, and this could happen in multiple ways, but this is like a good scenario. So let's say you just had a panic attack after a few weeks of recovery. You feel so much better in general, but then out of nowhere you get a panic attack. For someone who's not struggling with health anxiety, excuse me, the mindset, I mean, the thought process would be, oh wow, like I just had a panic attack. I haven't had it in a while. That felt really horrible. I don't like that. Well, I'm glad it's not happening, you know, I'm glad it's happening less. And yeah, I didn't like that. Oh, I'm glad it's over. I'm glad I'm having less of it. So that would be more of like somebody who's, you know, isn't struggling with health anxiety. Now, if you're struggling with health anxiety, this would be more of like this. The thought process would be, you'll be like, oh my God, I had it. I had another panic attack. I mean, I haven't had this in a while. Why am I having this now? Did I do something wrong? Wait, am I not actually recovering? Am I actually getting worse? Maybe when I thought I was okay, I wasn't okay. And maybe this isn't anything to do with anxiety. Maybe I need to get rechecked again, and maybe have some kind of weird disease or cancer or something that has a side effect that's similar to anxiety that I didn't catch. And if I didn't catch it, I didn't prevent it somehow, and now it's getting worse. And oh my gosh, I've wasted all this time getting worse when I thought I was getting better. Does that sound familiar to you? If you're going through health anxiety, that would be the road you'd go down. So there's two ways you could deal with this when it comes up. And before I've figured everything out for myself on this and like really gotten a hold of myself, I would allow myself to go down the road of, you know, obsessive Googling, allow my emotions to get really fearful, probably make appointments with doctors for things that I really didn't need to get checked. Probably wouldn't believe them when they say nothing's wrong. I would then go Google more. And what I realize is what I'm doing with that is I'm confirming this health anxiety, and I'm allowing that to become even more of a reality. So what you're doing when you do that is that you are pretty much showing yourself that to feel okay, I have to obsess, and I have to do all this irrational research and guessing, and I have to get in a bad mood. I have to be fearful. And then when I'm just finally exhausted and I have no more energy to spend, it kind of works its way through. Now, meanwhile, you've backtracked on your recovery, your health recovery physically, and you've just reconfirmed this, disorder in your head that it should exist, that you can't really function without being obsessed like this. So I realized that, and I, through, various therapies and through reading a lot of self-help books, through my own experience, through trial and error when I was really young, because I had a really, I had a really intense desire to live my life like the best I can and the most optimal I can. And I knew that if I didn't get over this challenge that I had, it was not possible for me to achieve my desires and my dreams. And my desires and my dreams are so awesome and so inspiring that it was more powerful. And I just said, okay, I got to find a better way. I got to allow answers from the universe. I got to, move through this in a balanced way. And I'm so thankful and blessed that I did. So this is what I learned, and I want to share this with you. And maybe if you like to give it a try, feel free, and maybe it'll work well for you. So it does take some focus. Okay, so here we go. So it could go down a way like this. You could first stop. So stop moving. If you're stressed, stop your mind. Take a deep breath and get really present. Okay, so hold your consciousness in this moment. Don't let your brain go into the future predictions, go into the fearful thoughts, go into like the past, like if you did this or not or what, all that. Just for 1 minute, hold yourself in the moment. Okay, deep breaths. Then from there, so that alone is gonna do you're gonna find a lot of relief in that already. Right? So then from there, you ask yourself, out of all the times that I've had symptoms and triggered my health anxiety, and all the times that I allowed myself to Google and get obsessed and do all this irrational stuff that it's really harmful to myself mentally and exhausting to myself physically, out of all the times I've done that, what was the end? Nothing really bad ever happened. The worst thing that happened was that you did that to yourself. And the symptoms eventually just kind of heal itself and go away. Or some of them stick around because you're so stressed and they're not healing. So you're stuck in that circle. But out of all the times that you look back, I can speak on my behalf. 10 out of 10, nothing happened to me. In fact, the only times that, health concerns that were truly worth addressing, it was actually very logical. Like, it was like I had a cyst because I had this ingrown hair on my thigh, and I was like, oh, there's a bump here, let me go to the doctor. I went to the doctor, they're like, oh, it's a cyst. They drained it, it was over. So when I look back and when I did this, and I thought, wow, and this is such a basic, simple thing, but we don't think to do this when we're obsessed. So when you do that, you realize, like, wow, no, like, all the times that I freak out, it always turns out okay, and it always turns out fine. So knowing that, then what you're going to do is you're going to support that with your actions now in this moment. Okay, so you're going to go, okay, now I'm having a symptom, and when I look back, I've always been fine, and the only thing that ever was wrong was me obsessing and put this torture on myself. So I could just not torture myself, let the symptom pass. I'm not gonna Google. I'm just gonna be with the symptom, and just when my mind wants to freak out, I'm just gonna say, hey, all the other times I was okay. No matter how crazy or obsessive or all the scenarios that I played out through my head, no matter how real they weren't, because I turned out fine and I was okay, I was healthy. This is the tough part. You have to focus and dedicate yourself to practicing this new way of dealing with this when it comes up. Then it'll pass, guys. I have total faith in you. It will pass. You do this, the symptom will pass, and this is what will happen. You now have moved the momentum. You now have shown yourself that not only when you look back, every time you've turned out okay, you've now done a balanced approach and it worked out okay again. So then when the next time this happens, you can look back and go, look, all the other time I obsessed, nothing ever happened. And then the last time I didn't obsess and nothing happened. And I was healthy, fit, and I was okay. Guys, little by little, with that practice, you're going to move the momentum. And before you know it, if you deliberately, consistently practice this, you're going to show yourself, you're going to self-heal and you're going to prove to yourself and your belief system that you don't have to have health anxiety, and you don't have to go through the rituals. You don't have to go through the self-torture and torment to get to salvation and well-being, because you're actually doing just fine. And it's really powerful, guys, because as you show this to yourself and practice this, and it does take work. It doesn't mean, I don't mean that this is like, super easy, but with focus and a strong desire to heal yourself and rebalance yourself, you can do it. I did it. I'm not, again, I've said this before, I'm not Superman. I have the same challenges just as everybody else, and you can do it, okay? I totally believe in you guys. Try that if you like. It has worked out just phenomenally for me. Through this health crash, yes, I had health anxiety, but I didn't suffer with it as much as I would have if I didn't overcome this health anxiety years ago. So I totally understand how it feels, and I know that it can be challenging, but I also know that it's totally possible for you to rebalance yourself. I hope this is something helpful to you. It means a lot to me to share this, because it's definitely something that is personal to me, and it it is something I feel, my heart's in it because I've dealt with this. It's has been a challenge in my life, and it continues to be challenges with anxiety that's manifesting in different ways, like through this health crash and everything. Yeah, I hope this gives you guys some, inspiration, motivation, some ideas, some new way of looking at things, and something to try the next time you find yourself in a symptom and you're having a major trigger of health anxiety. I would really love it if you guys would share your recovery stories. We focus a lot, and and it's okay that about the struggles and the things that are stressing us out. But I would also love it if you guys would post things about what has worked and the progress you have made. Just for me and my audiences, as well as for yourself, to put down in words and again prove to yourself that you are getting better and you're healing yourself. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, give me a thumbs up and share my videos with others. That would really help me expand my audience. If you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button as well as the bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I upload new content. I now have PayPal Donate, so if you're interested in that and you want to support my channel, you can click on the link in my comment section as well as the upper right hand corner of my channel homepage. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. As always, remember, it's never too late to optimize yourself, and you can always start right now. Until next time, I'm Jaden Christopher, and I'm wishing you a thriving day. Bye.